channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And today I'm super excited because I made kind of two like experimental miniature little wreaths. I was looking out there for any ideas on how to make little miniature rag wreaths. And I really wasn't finding anything, and I figured out a couple of things on my own. I'm like, well, I could use, and I kind of tied this little piece of fabric on here. I'm like, I could use a key ring, actually. And then I'm thinking a little bit more, and I'm like, no, wait a minute, I could use floral wire. And then I was thinking a little more, and I'm like, no, I can use the pipe cleaners is what you call them, the little crafty pipe cleaners. So these little things right here, this is pipe cleaner. So what I did, and you could just take the pipe cleaner and you can just twist it around each other, take two of them and just kind of twist them around each other so it's nice and solid. And then you just cut strips. Now this is what I worked out on another platform. I was just kind of working it out, like experimenting and working on these wreaths. So one I made with a little pipe cleaner, and that's this one right here, where you see the really short little bows that I tied around the wreath. Now the size of this is about 3.5 to 4 inches, and I thought that at least a half an inch is what works well. The reason I came to that conclusion is that when it was less than that, like this is kind of thin up here. So if it was about 1/8 of an inch and I'm tying it, it seemed like the end of it might rip, or if I tied it too tight, it would rip. It wasn't enough. So about a half an inch wide is really good. So I cut a bunch of those strips, and I made two different types of the miniature rag wreaths with the idea that they can be ornaments, or they could be used in, if you're a miniaturist, which some of you might know, that's my latest like really interest that I have, because I'm impressed at the amount of recycled materials that miniaturists, for example, making miniature, not just doll houses, but making miniature replicas of castles, or historical houses, or villages, or whatever it is that they're doing, they're using an incredible amount of recycled materials. And I mean that like in this way. If you have a pen, and I kind of gave this example before, they use the spring of a pen. They use the bottle caps of a bottle. They use things that you wouldn't even think of, for example, like erasers even. Hi, how are you? Hi, Starsky and Emmanuel. Hi, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. So what I love about, again, about the miniaturists is the fact that on this channel, we're looking for all kinds of things to create with recycled and organic fabrics, okay? Materials or supplies. So this little miniature wreath, this could be, yes, for example, for a miniaturist house, or it could be an ornament, okay? It could just be a lovely aesthetic. And so I did these two different ways. I was trying to figure out, what do I like better? Do I like the wreath made with a pipe cleaner, and then I'm trimming all of the the strips of fabric like this, or do I like the wreath made with wire like this, floral wire, and I'm leaving them kind of long. This fabric, this is very vintage. Here, let me show you. It's like, it's adorable. I mean, seriously, it's the prettiest. It's a teeny tiny little print, and you see the little red and you see the blue. You don't see blue a lot in your fabrics. If you notice, you're going to see reds, greens, browns, yellows, but you don't see blue, okay? So this is a lovely, so this is my kind of favorite, and it's miniature. Now the diameter, in case you're wondering, this is about 2.5-inch diameter. The strips, again, the strips are about 3.5 to 4 inches in length. And I figured out the glitches and everything, and made and have come to the conclusion that about a 1/2 inch wide, so about 3.5 inch to 4 inches long, and about a 1/2 inch wide. That's perfect. That comes out just lovely. So I used this, I used this type of print, I use this type of print, really pretty colors. So guess what? You can make these seasonally, you can make them for the holidays, you can make them for Christmas. I didn't make this one Christmas themed, but I could have. I could have made it all red and green, and that would have been a really adorable. So it's like it's a wreath, yes, for your miniaturist house, or to put on your tree, or to put in your window, or to put in your office, whatever you like. Hi, Sun Cartis, how are you? How are you guys today? It's Tuesday, it feels like Friday. It does feel like Friday. It's already dark out, and I have my little birds in the window. They got like very little sun today, so something like this kind of just brightens up the room. So this one, let me just clip this off. What I did was I used twine to make the little hanger, to hang it on. Whoops, this one just came apart. So you can use twine, you can use a ribbon, you can dress these up with beads or buttons. I mean, buttons are really cute. Let's see, do I have any around here? I don't. But seriously, you can use little teeny tiny parts of artificial flowers. You can get the artificial flowers at the thrift shop, and you can decorate, you can put the little flowers on here. Seriously, we're going to be doing more of these. We're totally going to be doing more of these. So this is just so cute. Now, this one, I got to tell you, pops. I love this one. The only thing I kept, like my eye kept going back and forth on this one, because certain parts of the strands fall forward, and then when they do that, I'm not seeing the print. So I thought, well, wait a minute, I'm going to kind of work on this one a little bit, but then kind of when I just left it, and I'm kind of leaving the strand, like I'm kind of going around it, and I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute, let me just see what this looks like if the strands are kind of going all over the place naturally, and it just looks lovely. Now you could take a bobble, you can needle felt a bobble like this, or fabric bobble, or whatever you do, make this deco ball, and then take a piece of fabric, just kind of thread it through the surface and tie a little bow. You do that to the whole thing, you have a ball of all the little bows, and it would kind of resemble this a little bit. But I really do love this. This is simply the wire. Here, I'll show you how I did it. Super simple. And I just took some wire, just enough so, and I just took enough so I kind of wrapped it, like using my hands or my fingers, just kind of what do I want to say, kind of freestyle, like freelance, almost like not measuring necessarily, but just kind of eyeing it, I guess is what people say. And then bring it around twice. Now, because it's floral, this is a very easy to manipulate, very, very easy. And just kind of get two strands like that. And then just bring the other one around also. See that? You're just bringing that around, and look, right there is your base for your rag wreath. And then when you put it on, you can trim it and bring it down like this, pretty little rag wreath like that, or you can leave it really long. Now, you can use this size for 2.5-inch diameter, 5-inch, 7-inch. You can use this. The thing of it is, the larger your rag wreath is going to be, you're going to want more strands of your floral. Now, why is this such a big deal to me? Because I used to make the rag wreaths like this like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I put them on Macari. I was using cardboard because my whole focus is earth friendly, right? We want something earth friendly. We want it recyclable, right? We want it recycled materials. The problem with the cardboard is if you put it outside, you put the wreath outside on your porch, on your patio, your deck, whatever you're going to do outside your door, and it rains or it snows, whatever, it's going to accumulate maybe condensation. So when you have the wire or the floral wire, you're like, wait a minute, I can make the same size of those wreaths, because those wreaths were about, I want to say about 5 to 7 inch diameters I was doing, making them, so they were about twice the size, 2 to 3 times the size bigger than these. I was using cardboard. Guess what? We're going to do the same thing, only we're going to use floral wire. I'm going to bring you with me. Now, I have a couple of other projects I have to work on, and I want to bring you with me. So this, I just going to kind of switch gears here for a minute. This is one of the necklaces. I'm going to put it on so you can just see it. It's one of the necklaces I made for the, oh, hi, thank you. I didn't even see those. Thank you. I made this necklace for the fashion show that we had in Burlington this fall. These are all, I hope you can hear me because I got the heater just popped on there. But these are all baubles, like needle felted. They're needle felted baubles. And then I used, because I wanted it to be all recycled, so then I used recycled materials. And then this is just a really simple Boro Sashiko inspired piece of fabric. So I just put those on there. That's how I made this piece. So with that, what I have to do is focus on preparing for a class where we're making needle felted baubles and we're going to decorate them next week. It's already next week. So this week we've got Thanksgiving on Thursday, right? In a couple of days. And then next Thursday I've got the class. After that class, and we're going to be focusing on different little things like these little miniature, this one is needle felted, and guess what? It's wet felted. You see the smoothness of that? Okay, that's from wet felting and putting it in a mold, just putting it in a bowl and just letting it dry. So we're going to be focusing on those, and making teeny tiny little creatures like this with needle felting. We're going to be doing some Boro inspired, Boro Sashiko inspired projects too. We're going to be focusing on some of our needle felted bears and vessels with Boro Sashiko inspired design. Okay, so we're gonna be doing that because these are things I have to work on to get out there. Now we're also going to be adding our beautiful little miniature wreaths to our agenda, to our channel. We're going to be adding other little miniatures to our channel. And the reason is there's so many things that we can be using in that world of miniaturist. Okay, so with these wreaths, I'm going to make some of the larger ones that are like twice the size of this, like 5-inch diameter, still very small. Some of these things, just to let you know, I am going to be going back to my WhatsApp and selling them through that. Now that's going to be more into the spring, okay? But we're going to be doing that. So look at this though. Is that just so lovely? And you just get a vintage vibe. So I'm going to be working a little bit more on this, like after I get off the camera, and just kind of studying it on how to refine it a little bit better, and then I'll be bringing that to you. I did these this way. I could not find anything out there on YouTube for these little miniature rag wreaths. But you know what? I've made rag wreaths many times. Like I said, 5-7 years ago, I was making them with cardboard. So I said, you know what? I think I could figure this out for teeny tiny little ones. And I did. Super simple. The first thing that came to mind though was using a key ring. And you could use a key ring. The only reason why I shied away from the key ring is because I didn't want to, you see this here? You see the little clip? You see the clip? I really didn't want to use it because of the clip. I wanted to use something that was going to be like this. Like I had a complete closure without a bump like in the wreath. So I think this is lovely. I love this because it's so vintage. It's so adorable. And granted, I'm going to work a little bit on the spacing there, but I think it's just lovely. And this one too. So I just wanted to jump on here and share with you. And I keep talking about the spring because there are going to be some changes, and there's going to be some wonderful, positive, beautiful changes and additions to this channel in the spring. And I am so blessed and so happy to have you with me. I thank you for being with me. Jump on board and subscribe. And we're going to be having a lot of fun this winter. And like I said, some nice surprises coming in the spring. So I'm not going to tell you right now because this is the thing that I have to do, preparing and planning and all of that. But there's going to be some really fun surprises we're adding to our Echo Art channel. So with that, you have an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day. I thank you for being with me. If you have any questions on this particular project, you let me know. Happy to answer. I'm happy to do a video answering your questions. And we haven't forgotten about our beautiful meditation projects, our mindful chakra projects. You know, I love chakra because I can take something like this and this. I can start with red, orange, these are the chakra colors, yellow, green, and then blue is the throat. Blue is the throat. Indigo, which is dark, dark blue, is our third eye. And then a beautiful violet or golden color. We could use golden color again, but that's our crown chakra. So I love doing our meditative and mindful and chakra meditation projects with all of our beautiful, beautiful textile. And believe me, we need our meditation, we need our time to revamp, because this world has gotten dark. It has. It has. There's a lot of we know the things go. I'm not talking just politically. I'm talking spiritually. I'm talking, but there's a lot of positive too. So you want to attract the positive. You want to attract the goodness and the love and the light as much as possible, because as life will have it, there will be difficulties in life. So I really do believe using our meditative projects can help us get through that, work through that, process through that, or strengthen us through that. So anyway, I wanted to jump on here and share these with you. So with that, you have an absolutely beautiful evening. I will see you in the next one. I will be back on, and tomorrow at some point. And if you have any questions, let me know. So with that, love and light, and thank you for being with me.